The younger man's eyes widened in alarm, anxiety coiling in his stomach. He tried to get past, but they jostled him and jeered. "What? Are you cowards? You want your women stolen by the British and the Americans?" The younger man had no one special waiting for him back home, but he knew his friend had a sweetheart he planned to marry. She has fire in her eyes, and their lips are a gift from Cupid. He was terrified that she'd been caught up in the recent fighting. "We fight for our king," he shot back, a spike of adrenaline making him brave. "You're the traitor." There was a tussle in the darkness, and blows were exchanged, fists flying as pent-up fear and anger found a release. The mood changed rapidly when one of the soldiers drew his weapon. "Traitors should be shot," he spat, his eyes glittering dangerously in the moonlight. He raised the gun and took aim. There was a yell, a scuffle, and then a shot rang out across the silent city. A man slumped to the ground, clutching his heart, life seeping from him. Nothing could be done to save him. He was dead within seconds, the soldiers scattering, all suddenly sober, as the blood seeped into the cobbles and trickled towards the gutter. The two soldiers had fled along with the others, peeling off down an alleyway, their hearts heaving in their chests as they concealed themselves in a doorway. The whistles of the carabinieri could be heard close by. They stared at each other in horror and disbelief at what had just happened. One of them had killed a man, a fellow soldier and compatriot. This crazy war had turned everything on its head, and now they were fugitives. The younger man grabbed his friend's arm, shaking him out of his stupor. "Run!" he hissed. "We must run!" His friend looked at him, terror in his eyes, but resolution too. "Yes, we must run, but not together. Alone." With that, he darted out into the alleyway. Turning only once, he said, "Remember my girl, the promise." "Wait!" the young man wanted to shout, but knowing it was futile, the word died on his lips. He nodded as their eyes met for a split second. Then he ran too, and kept on running, and didn't stop until he was far away from that dreadful moment. He couldn't know then that he would still be running 50 years later. Part 1. Chapter 1. Campania, August 2005. "Do you have to go?" Carina murmured, wrapping her arms around her fiancé as she gazed up at his handsome face. "Yes," Giorgio said firmly, disentangling himself. "But it's less than 2 weeks until the wedding." "I have important business in the US, Carina. It can't wait." "You promise you'll be back in time? We have guests arriving the week before, and my parents have planned a family dinner, a party, a boat trip." "I'll be back," Giorgio assured her, though Carina sensed his irritation at her questions. She leaned in to kiss him goodbye, pressing her body enticingly against his as their embrace grew more passionate, her hands roaming over his chest and rumpling his freshly ironed shirt. "I have to go," he said, stepping backwards and smoothing down his suit. "Giorgio, we're almost married. Surely it doesn't matter if we—" She let the question hang, an unspoken invitation. "What difference does 2 more weeks make? We've waited all this time. We can wait a little longer," he insisted. "I'll see you in a few days." "I love you," Carina called after him as he walked towards the door. "I love you too," Giorgio replied, not stopping to turn around. Then he was gone, and Carina was left fighting a whirl of emotions: frustration, confusion, disappointment. The balcony doors were open, and she moved across her bedroom to step outside, the welcome breeze lifting tendrils of her thick, honey-blonde hair, which had escaped the long plait in which they were tethered. A trace of a frown crossed her youthful face, the exchange with Giorgio having left spots of colour high on her cheeks. Her skin was lightly tanned, her almond eyes a rare shade of violet. Carina exhaled as she gazed at the view, feeling any tension melt away. The land, as far as she could see, belonged to her father.